All right, guys, we are here 2024 Florida Audio Expo. We're going to be looking at a company called Audia Flight. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey folks, I'm Gene Delasala with Audioholics. We are here with Steve Jan from Fidelity Imports. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Good to see you again, Gene.
Steve, it's always awesome to get you on camera to talk about the brands that you represent. You do have a lot of unique brands in your line card, this one being Audia Flight, an Italian company. First, I wanted you to talk about why did you choose this brand to add to your line card? And then secondly, just give us a rundown of these products, what we were listening to today.
Sure. Yeah, no, that would be great. And thanks for this opportunity. We have a curated portfolio of about 15 brands from all over the world. We've got an American brand. We have some Italian brands, French, Japanese. We pretty much scour the planet looking for brands with stories, boutique brands, and products that sound really great. And in many cases, they're of value in their price band. About 3 years ago, I was at Munich High-End. We were walking around, just me and a friend. No real agenda other than to just go and look and listen to all the different brands that were there. We had the idea that we would make a list of the best sounding rooms that we heard, but we wouldn't show it to each other till the very end. And at the end of the show, each of our top 5 rooms, we both had Audia Flight near the very top of everything we heard at Munich. So I then proceeded on the Sunday to go and beg the Italians to let us have the line. And crazily enough, they said yes. It represents something really special. It's beautifully designed products, sounds wonderful. And I have a passion for European brands as well. It's produced in a city called Civitavecchia, which is about 40 miles from Rome. It's right by the sea, and I don't know if there's something about the sea air, but the sound that comes out of this thing is just unbelievable. And Gene, you've got to experience that a few times now.
Well, here's the funny story about that is last year we came to the show, Dan Romer set up in Perlisten the R5M monitors with 2 subwoofers, and I wasn't really paying attention to what the electronics were, right? I loved the sound. In fact, I thought it was one of the best sounding rooms in the entire show. Didn't think about it afterwards. I just assumed everything was the speakers and it was just a great time. Well, then at CEDIA, we got to hear another setup with Dan with the limited edition, these speakers right here. And then I started paying attention to the electronics because it was this stuff. And I looked at the specs and I was looking at all the engineering stuff about the giant power supplies in it, how it almost doubles down like an ideal voltage source with their amplifiers. So they give you lots of current using really high-end DACs, and I just fell in love with the sound. Like the system sounded superb. There was no EQ going on, no magic tricks or anything like that. I just heard a very low noise floor, and the amp sounded meaty. When you get an amplifier that can double down like that, even if it's not a high-powered rated amp at 8 ohms, they just sound different. They just have a lot of current drive, a lot of overhead, a lot of dynamic power. And that's exactly what I heard again today. So this is the 3rd time I've heard demos with this equipment. So why don't you give us a rundown of these electronics, and then we'll talk about the fact that I'm going to be setting up for a bench test.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. So what we start with is the FLS1 preamplifier. And what's cool about Audia Flight is they have a modular system. So you can buy this product by itself, or there's an expansion slot on the back where you can plug in a DAC, you can plug in a phono board, you can plug in an additional I/O board if you need more inputs or outputs, you want more XLRs. So there's expansion capabilities for all of this product, and it's just plug-in. There's no soldering, there's no jumpers to move, there's no wiring. You just plug it in and you have all the functionality that you want. From that preamplifier, we go into the FLS4, which is the stereo amplifier. It's 200 watts per channel, 400 at 8 ohms, and 700 at 2 ohms. So that's what we're powering this room with, and I think you could tell it's powering these limited editions wonderfully.
Effortlessly, yeah, exactly. You know, one of my favorite categories of audio products are integrated amplifiers, and I think the one I heard was the FLS10.
Yeah, you are correct, and that's what we're going to be sending you for the bench test.
I'm excited, guys. It's rare that I get that excited over electronics because I've pretty much seen everything doing this for 25 years. But this is a brand I'm very excited to bring you more coverage of because nobody on YouTube is covering this stuff. And I'm going to give you bench test results on this. I'm going to show you the science behind it and how it measures, and I'm going to verify what it does with what the electronics, the manufacturer claims it does with the electronics. But more importantly, not just bench testing it, I want to do listening. And I've got the Perlisten S7t's as my reference speaker, so you know I got a good reference to begin with. This is going to be a lot of fun. So last question I have for you is, if someone wants to get some of this Audia Flight gear, where do they get it from? Because it's not a mainstream brand, so how are they going to get it if they're in the United States?
Yeah, we have a network of specially curated retailers, and I think the best way to go is to visit fidelityimports.com, hit the contact us, and we'll connect you with your closest specialty retailer.
All right, Steve. Well, I appreciate it, guys. If you liked the video, please hit thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to suggest video topics. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.